North Idaho College proudly presents NIC Today, an informational news magazine that highlights the people, programs, and campus life at North Idaho College and the surrounding community. And now, your host and moderator, President of North Idaho College, Dr. Priscilla Bell.
Hello and welcome to NIC Today. I'm Priscilla Bell, the host of NIC Today and President of North Idaho College. With me today is Vice President John Martin. John is the Vice President for Community Relations and Marketing. Thank you, John, for being with us today.
It's great to be back.
Today's program is about the Idaho Basic Education Skills Training Program, or more affectionately known as iBest. iBest is a program that we based on a similar program in Washington State. The purpose of iBest is to give students who are working on their GED an opportunity to gain marketable skills at the same time they earn their GED. We do this in professional technical education areas. Last year we piloted the program, and this year we're in it full bore. We even hired staff to work specifically on that program, and they're with us this morning, and I'd like to introduce them to you. They are Molly Kreyssler, who is the coordinator of the program, and Judith George, who is the advisor and data analyst for iBest. Molly and Judith, would you introduce yourselves and tell us a little bit about what you do?
Sure. Again, my name is Molly Kreyssler. I'm the coordinator for the program, and you know, our job duties, we have job duties just like everybody, where we have daily activities that we do. We have paperwork, we have management, we facilitate classes, and all of the grit that we get into. But the meat of our job duties includes finding students that aren't in school anymore and getting them back, transitioning them into good schoolwork, including college credits, and making sure that they have a good transition and building good structures for them to be able to come back to school and stay there.
And Judith, what about you?
I'm Judith George, and my title is Advisor and Data Analyst, but Molly and I find kind of being only too deep in the management part that we do whatever needs to be done. I come from more the GED side of the house. My experience was as an ABE GED instructor, and so I kind of know that part of the program a little bit better. And Molly has taught me a lot about higher education because that's kind of her side. And as she said, we spend a lot of our time recruiting, but the heart of what we do is working with our students, and it's one of those things that we never know when we come to work what we might be faced with or what we might be doing that day, but it's never dull, and it's always interesting, and it's always rewarding.
Well, it sounds like you both have a good time doing your work in the iBest program. Would you please tell our viewers about how the program works?
Sure. We are grant funded at the current time. The Albertsons Foundation was gracious enough to look at some of the problems of our Idaho students completing high school and then transitioning to higher education. And so our whole goal is to get them back in school and to transition successfully. So we're a retention-based program. We have a lot of additional services for students that allow them to feel comfortable in their learning environment and gain the skills academically and personally to stay here. We are housed under the professional technical side of campus, and so all of our programs that we offer under that division. We offer welding, machining, and CNA out at the Workforce Development Center, and then office specialist as well. So our students, typically what a day looks like for them is they hit campus around noon, and they see Judith and I. We have them in class for 20 to 30 minutes. We make sure that they're there and ready to go, and then they have an hour of GED instruction. And then they are dispatched to lecture and theory classes for their discipline. So we have an integrated teaching model where our GED instructors go to math with them, and we're allowed into labs and classes too, which is fun. The students are very patient with us, that when we go down and we're in the welding lab, they let us play with them, and they teach us what they're learning. So they know it's a learning community. They're in cohorts and their community in their classrooms and out.
That sounds like a lot of fun for the students as well as for you.
Yes.
It really does. And Judith, you talked a bit about recruiting students. Would you tell us how you recruit students?
Well, our recruiting model kind of morphed into something unexpected during the year. We started at first, obviously, we were looking for students who didn't have their GED yet, and so we started with at the Adult Education Center, and I would visit the orientation for new students, starting with the test of adult basic education to see where they were in the process, and we realized that we were getting some students that way, but we realized that we were also missing a lot of students who didn't have GEDs, but who this was a program that would really, really benefit them. So we asked the ones that we had recruited, where do your friends hang out? Where do you have friends that don't have a GED? Where can we go? And they recommended tattoo parlors and skate parks. And so we went on quite a recruiting campaign, and I visited my first tattoo parlor this summer.
Did you get a tattoo?
I actually didn't, but we're still trying. I asked Molly what kind she thought I should get, and she said the kind that washes off, probably. So anyway,
I can understand that.
Yeah, it was a really interesting, fun time, and we thought about all the places that we might look for students in kind of unconventional places. So we took flyers. We also had the campaign in the newspaper. One of the most effective marketing tools that we used, recruiting tools, was an info night that we had here at the college that students were invited to, and we got several really strong leads that way. So we kind of just thought about what we needed to do, and we went out and did it. So.
You know, you mentioned earlier that you've been connected with the GED program.
Yes.
Previously. This is a much more comprehensive approach than just GED by itself, isn't it?
Yes, it is, very much so.
Do you have a sense, I know you've only been with the program a short time, but do you have a sense from interacting with the students about the likelihood of their succeeding in finishing this program?
You know, we look at our numbers every day, and like Judith says, we never know every day what's going to walk in the door, but every day around 11:30 we hold our breath that they're coming back. And once we get over that third week for retention, we start breathing easier because they're coming. And the beautiful thing is we have a great classroom that we're able to integrate everything, and they come earlier every day. And it's their home away from home. Even when we survey, they say, this is somewhere I can come where I'm safe, I'm appreciated, and I can gain my confidence. And so even to build those learning outcomes, you know, we go for grades, but we also build for additional skills. And that confidence building and positive psychology we're able to use is amazing. And they're doing good. They're really doing good. Even just building their confidence, that they walk into a collegiate math class and they walk in there with their backpacks like everybody else does, and they sit down, and that's their classroom now. So we look at those things too. So they are doing it. They're making the grades, and they're continually coming, and those are huge for this population.
Yes, yes. I know it's a difficult population, and it sounds like this is going to be very rewarding for you to work with them. Yeah. John, I think we've got some video.
We do.
Do we not?
But before we roll our video, I wanted to ask one question about the students and their progression. They're getting a lot of one-on-one special attention through the early part of the program. Is there an element of it that's going to make them a little bit more independent as they leave at the end of the semester?
Absolutely. We look at transition points for them with retention, and we have a plan for them for all their transition points. Now, within all those transition, we expect to follow them. Persistence is the goal of our grant, that they'll be able to persist in their education first and foremost. So we get all of their advising done. Judith and I will also be secondary advisors for them throughout their career. And so we follow them, and we'll continue having secondary advising and developmental advising roles with them. We also will make sure they get their FAFSAs done for next year. And all the things that we've seen are difficult and challenging for them, we'll continue to address them with the students, even though they're not really in our classroom next semester. We've told them that they can choose to engage, or I'll chase them across campus, whichever they would like. And
so
they seem to do okay.
Too.
Yes, yeah.
Molly, you threw out a term there that our viewers may not be familiar with, FAFSA.
Oh, yeah.
Do you want to tell folks what that is?
Sure. Financial aid is something that is very scary for students, especially some students that have never thought about going to college. Then the second question is, how am I going to pay for it? When we go out and we recruit, we need them to know that they don't need to worry about the money, because we will. One of the steps is filling out the federal application for financial and student aid, and we help them with those steps. So that's what FAFSA is. It's an acronym for getting money to go to school. That's what it is.
Thank you. Thank you.
Well, we do have video, as
let's
you mentioned,
let's see the
Priscilla, right?
video.
And because of some new equipment that our Board of Trustees allowed us to purchase and the talent of Andy Finney, who's running the whole show, we took our cameras into a couple classrooms. So, Andy, if you'd run the footage now, and I'd ask Molly and Judith maybe to comment on what the viewers are seeing as that footage comes up.
These are students in our office specialist classes. One of the wonderful things about our program is that the class sizes are really small. We've been very fortunate with that, and it's been nice for us to kind of ease into it with small numbers. So they get a lot of individual attention. They get lots of extra help.
And that's a student there with an instructor, right?
Yes, exactly
so that
right.
One-on-one help that they get.
Exactly. That helps them a lot. And our office specialist is kind of a platform to help them possibly transition into maybe other areas, but gives them good basic computer skills, computer application skills, so that they can move on into other
I
possible
think I
fields.
recognize that screen there. It looks like Outlook that they're learning.
That's true.
Email,
That's
calendaring, task.
That's
software.
one of the things.
These students will gain 12 credits on their college transcript at the end of the semester, as well as their GED.
Here's a transition to that is obviously not office specialist.
We have two lab components that are in professional technical that are epitome of hands-on learning. This is machining. Our students learn to work on a traditional lathe type model, so that if and when they persist, they will go to more of a technological base of machining, which would be CNC manufacturing and that kind of thing. It gives
That's
them
a computer-controlled lathing system.
Correct. Our instructor is Dale Sprouse that you see there. He is amazing. He's worked in the industry for years and years, and he understands the benefit of them knowing the traditional method to go into the advanced.
And our final little view here looks like a lot of sparks.
A lot of sparks in the welding lab. Our students in the welding program get 19 credits. They will end the semester with 19 credits and their math component completed. These students, they're wonderful. They're so excited about what they're learning. And all of them are talking about persisting. They want to go on into, to further semesters in welding. So they're excited about that.
Thanks, ladies. That's great. And another term that you are using that maybe our viewers don't understand is persistence. We call it retention. We're having them stay around for more education and achieving their educational goals. And so that's just a more technical term that we use.
John, retention and persistence is not only a term we use here at the college, it is also a national priority. How long does it take our students in the IBEST program to complete their GED and earn those 12 credits that will enable them to either get a job or go on with their college education?
They're able to get their GED in one semester. That's part of the screening that we do up front, is that we admit students into the program that based on their test of adult basic education, they have scores that we feel confident they'll be able to complete their GED within the semester and also score well on the compass and show ability to benefit. And we've had great success with that. Many of our students are starting to GED test now already. Some of them are starting to, we have one who's scheduled to take all of his tests next week for his GED. So we feel confident they'll all finish in the semester.
Well, it's clear to me from seeing the videos and from listening to you describe the program and the students in the program that you're really contributing to what NIC does, which is changing lives every day. How about telling us about some of those students? Give us a student story or two.
I think that that is why we love our jobs too, is that we consider ourselves their educational partners, and we advocate for these students, and it's an honor and privilege to fight for their education every day, and they make it so worth it. They inspire us every day, and we do have amazing, resilient, and tenacious students. We have students that have had very negative, unfortunate educational experiences and then walked away through a K through 12 experience. We have students that were bullied and left and are now back into a cohort again, and they're learning. And I think that the most rewarding part about it is when you see the other students lead and take care of them in a cohort and teach them what a good educational experience is. Judith and I do our jobs every day, but it's the students teaching each other that is really amazing, for sure. We have students that have been injured horribly in hunting accidents and have now
gosh.
been rehabilitated and have like a 20% chance of even operating their body fully. And he's welding. He's welding well. He's doing really good. And if they can come here and do that every day, we can do our jobs with a smile for sure.
What a great story.
Yeah. I had one student who came in, and we try to touch base with them on a really regular basis, really every day, but I try to sit down with them individually fairly often and ask how things are going. So I asked one student, how are things going? And he said, if high school had been like this, I might have had a chance. And he said, I love what I'm doing. He said, I hated math in high school because I didn't see any reason for it. And he said, but now when I go to math class, it's hard, but I'm doing it. And he said, and I can see how I'm going to apply it in the things that I'm doing, and I love it. It's hard work, but it's great, and I know I'm going to make it. And it just makes you want to cry sometimes. Their stories are so touching. We love them.
You know, one of the stories that you shared with me when we were talking previously is about recruiting, and you actually recruited a student off the beach?
We did. One student who walked by, and he was on the beach, and we were having our info night that night, and he saw the sandwich board as he was walking along the Dyke Road, and he was a student who really had dreams of going to college, and he told me later that he had always envisioned himself at NIC but never believed that it would be possible for him to go because of his circumstances. There was no way he would have the money, but he felt like he was bright enough, and certainly he is. But he saw the sign, came to info night, and now he's an IBEST student.
That's
a
great
real
story.
success story.
Yes.
You know.
Good for you.
You know, I think hearing you ladies talk about your students, I can feel your enthusiasm and your commitment, and you've signed on for more than probably you even thought about. I think it'd be good to maybe listen to some of the students themselves, and we do have some more video. We took the cameras into the classrooms and the labs, and we'll hear a little bit from the students. Absolutely, and we'll ask Andy to roll that video now as well.
What I like best about the IBEST program is the fact that it gives me the opportunity to succeed.
Even thinking that I could be attending college is kind of out there for me because I don't have a GED. You know, you barely get a job without a GED.
I really want to do my GED. I don't want to be that father that tells my kid that he needs to go to school, get a college degree and all that good stuff, and then not even have anything for myself.
This program is going to allow me to make plans for my future, which I can finally do now.
The IBEST program is, faith in, people like me so that we can better ourselves, in the world, and it's a nice thing to have.
Well, the best thing about this program is that you can just really take it anywhere you want to go, and there's somebody always there to help you if you need help. The schedule is real flexible.
It means all sorts of new opportunities, new steps and new open doors in my life that weren't available before.
The best thing I like about this program is more or less on hands. Pretty much it's going to get you towards earning a certificate, and this is going to help you better your life, I suppose, in the future. So it's definitely an awesome program.
Coming back to school is like everything I've ever dreamed of, really, and to be able to do that is really a blessing in my life, I would say.
What I like best about the program is that just all the hands-on work, and just the student to teacher is great, and they're always there to help you, and it's just, all in all, it's just a great program. I'm happy with where my life's headed right now.
I love the teachers. I love the students that I work with.
Well, I hope that this will give me the opportunity, to continue with my education. I love to learn, so the fact that I'm able to be here and have the opportunity to later, advance, like it's like for me, psychology or business. Yeah.
But at the end of this program, I'll have eligibility to go get certified and go in the field and just make some great money, be able to travel, or I can just find local jobs and not have to go anywhere.
Seems like exactly the right thing, what I should be doing.
A new beginning.
Great stories from your students there, that it's a real testimony to what the program and you folks are doing as well.
It's obvious to me that you are helping these students to build their dreams and to achieve those dreams. So I can see why you're so enthusiastic about the program and the work you're doing with all of these students. Judith, tell us about the plans for the future of IBEST.
Well, we're already starting to recruit students for fall 2012, and we're constantly recruiting students for the CNA program. But a lot of people are already contacting us about next year. We expect we'll have many more students that are interested in the program. So numbers-wise, we expect to expand it. We will have a bit longer recruiting period, obviously, and so that will give us the opportunity to recruit more students. We even hope that eventually we'll be able to expand the iBest program into more areas in professional technical education. We see that as a goal. It's not actually happening yet, but there are discussions about doing that, so we look forward to that possible outcome as well.
Do we have another cohort starting or another program starting with the spring semester in January?
Because of the way the programs are structured, our only entry points for the three programs on campus, the welding, machining, and office specialist, are only in the fall semester because it's a one-year program, and it would leave them without anywhere to go if we entered them in the spring semester. So it's just, those are the only entry points in the fall semester.
I understand that. Okay, that makes sense. And Molly, tell us about how you've told us some things about recruiting and how unorthodox some of your recruiting methods have been. But how about the prospective students that are going to come with the next group in the fall? How are they going to find out about iBest?
Yeah, we will always take our show on the road, for sure. The easiest thing for them to do is contact Judith or I and not worry about the steps, because that's what we do for them. So if they can get a hold of us, our offices are located in Headland on main campus at 233 is our office number. And then the GED ABE Center downtown, they can always send them our way too. Or if they're more comfortable at the center, we go there. So if they get a hold of the GED Center, or Judith or I will take the next steps for them.
Okay. And could you tell the viewers and me how the students are divided into the various programs that we offer? You know, about how many or what percentage are in welding versus the machining versus CNA?
Our enrollment this fall, we ended up about 5 per cohort this fall. Yeah,
so it worked out well.
Yeah, it does. And you know, the numbers initially that we were working with, we were a little bit nervous because we did have a short recruit period in the front end. But what it's teaching us is what works for students, and it's a very manageable group so that we can work out our processes and systems for them to be successful. And then as we expand, make sure that those are implemented.
One of the things that I think is so fantastic about the program is that you are giving them the opportunity to see alternative futures and how to reach those alternative futures through education, something we all know is required for the jobs of today and even more so the jobs of tomorrow. Because I think the statistics from the Department of Labor are something like 2/3 of jobs now require something more than a high school diploma. They require post-secondary education. And maybe not a 4-year degree. Matter of fact, in most cases, not a 4-year degree. Right, John?
That's right. You know, that statistic is an important one that your students will be able to appreciate. The unemployment statistics, too, shows that students without a high school diploma, I think the national rate is above 14%.
Yes.
You get the high school diploma, it drops, and then you get a 2-year degree, and it's in single digits. So that whole progression of unemployment statistics, the requirements of jobs that need additional training, you're filling a part of the fulfillment of helping our students to reach those goals.
And those same data show us that students who earn that associate degree also earn considerably more money on an annual basis than those with only a GED or high school degree or diploma, excuse me. So you are really making a difference in the lives of these students, and I couldn't thank you more for your work in that program. Are there some things that some other things about this program that you think our viewers should hear about?
One other thing that I don't think we touched on, but it does go into the generational thing of education, is we have students that they have full-time jobs, they are parents, and then they come to school, and they are here Monday through Thursday, late nights in labs, and our welders on Friday. They log a lot of hours. They come here at noon. Some of them don't go home until 8:30, and they have families. And what we're hearing from our parents that when they go home, they're setting models for their children. And education is a generational thing that those children are now telling them, you're making me proud. I'm proud that you're going, you know, they put their kids on the bus, and then the little kids say, you know, Mommy, I'm proud of you because you're in school too. And it's a joint effort. And that's a big win for us too. It's a big win
The
for
whole idea that they're modeling success
They're
in
modeling.
education, that just the trickle down, if you will, it's
That's
crucial.
a big win for our community.
It is.
It's
It's
a big win for the individuals. It's a big win for our community too, as we strive to increase the numbers of qualified people in our area to take the jobs that are available. And there are lots of jobs available, providing you have the skills to take them.
Yeah.
Just
absolutely.
a key point. We heard that recently at a chamber legislative forum, I
We
believe.
did. The manufacturing sector in particular saying we have places for skilled workers and we just have to produce them. And you're helping us do that.
Yes. Anything else you'd like to add, Judith?
I like to think that our students are learning a lot, but I think Molly and I are learning a lot from them as well. It's a wonderful learning experience for us as well. I feel like all of my life I wanted a job that I felt so passionate about, and this is finally it. Every day is so rewarding with these students, and just, as you say, seeing them take the responsibility for changing their lives and getting to be a part of that. There's nothing better than that. It's really great, and so I feel very privileged to be a part of it.
Well, I'm glad to hear that, and we're very privileged as an institution to have you on our team and working with this particular population. Thank you today for sharing with us today about the IBEST program and your role in it, and about our students in the program. I'd like to remind our viewers that you can find out more about NIC if you go to our website, www.nic.edu. And if you have questions about this particular topic, you can find on my president's page of the website an area that you can click and you can submit questions to me, so I'd be happy to answer them. Also, final reminder, our fine arts season is underway. We have many events scheduled here at North Idaho College through December. So we invite you to go to our events page at www.nic.edu/events, and you can check out the schedule. Thank you for joining us, and please join us for our next show.